Hey,
well
welcome.
timed.
Yes. Welcome to Bang the Bulls Monday call-in hour. Again, it's Monday night.
No.
What?
Once again, you're on the wrong show.
I don't know. I think I'm on the right show. I think I'm on. What show are we on?
I don't think so. We're on Tuesdays with Drake. I know that this is a Monday and that has bled over into your other podcast schedule. However, come on, man, get it together.
Man. All right. So we do have a special guest, even though we have to talk about this garbage fantasy league that I'm in now again for another week. We do have the illustrious leader of said league, Miss Amy Broombaugh, in the house.
Undefeated.
Killing it this year. Not only undefeated, win 5 straight wins in 5 weeks.
Yes,
I think
that is how undefeated works.
You could have a tie. We have ties. You could be undefeated with tie.
That's true.
No ties here.
Thank you. Oh, no ties here. Ooh.
No ties here. All casual
You're either
Friday
first
on this
or you're
team.
last.
All right, Ricky Bobby, calm down.
Shake and bake. Amy, we do see Forky in the background. There's got to be some reason, given that you were in first place, why Forky in the background this week?
Well, I have to probably just touch on the last weekend of college football more than anything, and how much it destroyed my dreams of 2 separate teams potentially entering the playoffs this year. Oregon lost pretty bad to Utah. Michigan State lost pretty bad to Purdue. So the good news is that Oregon is not really that great of a team, and
trash, in fact.
Thank you. We would have, if we had slipped into the playoffs, I'm pretty sure not only would we have been steamrolled, but we would have probably cast a shadow of doubt on the Pac-12 for the next 5 years as the best.
As if it needs any more of those.
Yeah. What's that?
As if it needs any more shadows of doubt.
Right. It's bad, but maybe we can hide it being bad for a little bit longer. It's kind of how I feel. So I would love a Rose Bowl appearance this year. I think Michigan State and Oregon might be seeing each other, which would be really cool. But yeah, horrible weekend for college football. And
Trash
also,
weekend.
What's that?
Trash weekend.
And last week, barely beating T-Zac's team last week, but man, it came down to the wire, and I thought for sure T-Zac was gonna pull through, giving him his only win of the entire.
Let's just be clear. You still won, though.
Barely, yeah.
I did not win.
Humble here. I don't know what to do with this. I
just want to say I mean, I've had LeBron benched for a couple weeks from injury, and then I had a lot of just crappy performances, and I'm not sure. But I have high hopes after this week. We'll see what happens this week, but after this week, I have high hopes. I don't know if you guys remember, I was undefeated at this point in the season last year.
You were first for most of the season, if I recall.
This is true.
But then you guys got hurt and you didn't pay attention and subbed them out.
I did lose focus. But I'm in it to win it this year. I'm in it to win it.
Built for the playoffs.
Amy was not built for the playoffs last year.
For the playoffs. My team is built for the long haul. That's why I drafted it.
I had to get it.
Never gets old. Never gets old.
Not once. So last week, as you see, 6-4. It was a close match, but I did not win. Nat, you crushed it. A few others. 2020 championship stolen, still aggrieved from last year, is into second place with a win himself. And Kwame River having a good comeback season from his very poor results last year. And Joe's still in fourth place, where he should be. So you mentioned Michigan State. what's the deal there? Because we noticed very distinctly you drafted a number of Michigan related players in general Midwestern representation. What's the deal here?
Well, I mean, Draymond Green and Miles Bridges are on this team. Yes, I think my only two Michigan State players. They were later picks. This has always been my strategy. Well, not always been my strategy, but this is just a given strategy when it's kind of near the end of the. I think I got Miles Bridges on like the 5th round or something like that.
You took Miles Bridges in the 10th round, I believe.
In the 10th round.
It was right at the end.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Well, he was quite a surprise, wasn't he? That's great. I mean, he's only 23.
Wasn't he?
Wasn't he? What a delight. I knew he wasn't. I had no idea, and it was a random pick to the point of where when we're
12th
drafting,
round.
and
Sorry,
honestly,
12th round.
That's what I said.
12th round. Wow. I was actually in a meeting during the draft this year, and then I tried to get my significant other to draft for me, and he couldn't figure out the settings, so he couldn't do it. And so I was very
classic male.
I was right. Yeah. We were all in a circle, like we were all 6 feet apart because it was a nursing related meeting, and we were all like, and I was basically, I had the phone right here, and I was like checking. I was like, okay, I had a couple that a few that I knew I wanted to get. I only ended up really getting one of them, but it's just fine. And then everybody else was kind of based on availability, and extra points were given to those from Michigan State or Blazer players, really. And obviously ranking, that was a given, but other than ranking, those were the only two real ideas. I also like a tall team. Just in general, I have like my score.
There's so many jokes I could make right now, but I'm not.
Oh, stop.
Oh God. All right. Keep it moving.
But I mean, even I have LeBron as like point, and he's a tall point guard. So like my idea was to go for even going for points, I would go for the people that could provide points and
be tall
at the same time.
Lonzo Ball.
What a shocking idea.
Lonzo Ball, another tall point guard,
Yeah.
who you stole from me, which I will never forgive you for. Both of us had players very, very roughly stolen. Nat, what players were stolen from you in this draft by Miss Broombaugh?
Well, I'm always a Draymond guy, but
you are?
But I always had Curry, so I didn't want to overdo that. And Clay. I also have Clay. So I didn't want to over Warriors. And so I could have picked him earlier, but didn't. And then when I saw him, I was like, ooh, Draymond. And then you took him. Julius Randle is the one that kills me. I stuck all last season. If do you have that audio somewhere from the second week when I called him an all-star? Because that was
2021 prediction.
Julius Randle will be an all-star in 2021.
Boom.
That was the first week.
That was week 1, 2020.
Like 2 games, and I called that. And then he was an all-star, and he was an all-NBA player. So I was planning to draft him, and I did not because you did, and I still haven't let it go. So it's a hard life, and I'm very sad.
The late round value, DeRozan really doing well. Lonzo's playing crazy. As a Bulls fan, it's very exciting to watch. And then, Miles really crushed it with that pick. Nurk doing well this season. LeBron actually not doing well.
He's not playing in games.
He's not playing. Yeah. Which
that was the heavy speculation. Him and Davis and Embiid. That's why I purposefully avoided those 3 particular individuals.
Well, LeBron, when he plays, he still performs. Like, he's actually gotten me. If nothing else, he just, those assists and boards keep him a worthy player, especially for someone to put in a point guard position. But
he'll hit you with the occasional.
He's just injured. He's always injured, and he plays it safe. And I knew that going forward. Like, he's old. He's 34.
I mean, a lot of load management this season. So what are you worried about in general? You like your team overall, or what's your number one fear going to the midpoint of the season here, going to the nougaty middle?
I'm trying to think of like categories that I'm lacking in are definitely 3-point shots. Believe it or not, offensive rebounds, which I was kind of surprised in. I don't have, the perfect player to like complement my team would be someone like Steph Curry or someone like even not
best player in the league
for every team.
No. I mean someone who shoots like I mean, of course, I said not as good, but like a guy that can just hang out of the 3-point line and just like shoot for days and like everybody wants that guy.
I have one of those guys. I have one of those guys. And you're gonna see him in our next segment. We're gonna get to that in a second. I have some of those guys. Buddy Hield, for example, very good at 3-point shooters. I don't know if you looked at. Did you know those were your weakest categories from looking at the roto, or did you just sort of know that those were your weak categories?
I have not actually seen the roto because I was not shared this document. So.
You just didn't.
Yeah, you definitely were.
What?
Definitely were.
It's in the text thread.
I only asked that because you were dead on. So threes and offensive rebounds are your worst categories, along with field goal percentage. So you actually were very astute in your assessment of your poor performance. So good job on you there. Otherwise, you are very good in regular rebounds, which is sort of weird.
It is weird, right?
It is a little weird to be so different. You're like 3rd and 7th between rebounds and offensive rebounds.
That would mean you have good rebounding guards.
Yes.
Which is true. Yeah.
Yep.
And then, but assists, steals, good. Blocks also good.
Mm-hmm.
Turnovers. Bad.
Turnover is bad, which is not surprising
LeBron.
on the
big
on the
dudes,
assists, right? As we know, the linear relationship between assists and turnovers still holds perfectly across the board. While we're on the roto, even though he's 4th, Joe unfortunately still winning in the roto. I vastly improved this week, as you'll see. Only 110 now. Only one. Only one. So I'm start from the bottom and we're moving. We're going up. We're not there yet.
Are you making Drake references now?
Yes, I am.
Wow. What is happening here?
We're not there yet. We're not here. But we did start from the bottom.
I am continuing my my plan of being decidedly average or viciously neutral, as it were, and just slightly bad.
I like that I'm only top 4 in 2 categories, and I'm winning one of them with my exceedingly low turnover count. My system is good. Joe is a very balanced team. I don't know why Joe's losing. I think he will start steamrolling, or maybe he'll just Joe it for the rest of the season and not make it through.
Joe it? I don't know what Joeing it is. I'm just curious.
Being Joe. Do
All right.
I need to explain it? I don't think.
Kind of.
I don't think so. Last thing we'll do on the recap. So from last week, very interesting current situation on the player rankings. We always talk about big men. Top 3 people right now, point guards. LaMelo leading the rankings. Curry, Harden, and then Valanciunas is having a hell of a season. A bit of a sleeper there, and then more of the traditional people, and then absolute Cinderella story. Mo Bamba, killing it this season. Which it does make sense conceptually, given he's like a legitimate 3-point shooting big man and does blocks. So he kind of ticks all the boxes if he actually produces.
I believe when we were at Summer League, Amy once said about Mo Bamba that she didn't know how he could stand up with his skinny legs. I believe I recall you saying something to that regard.
I remember.
I bet you anything. I mean, he's probably put on some mad.
That man at that time definitely skipped leg day a lot.
Michael does still make note that Mo Bamba is not doing enough leg days. Clearly, question
Can
was
never do enough leg days.
Was that before? Accurate. Was this statement made before or after we had to evacuate for the earthquake during Summer League?
I believe that was the game we were watching when we had to evacuate.
I think that's true. That's totally true.
It was.
Oh man, that was the craziest situation of all time. We won't reminisce too much. But Mo Bamba is actually, having like some of these games like 12 and 12, couple blocks, threes. He's legitimately good. So interesting dynamic this season. It's not our traditional expected dynamic is all I'll say about that.
It's
All right.
early yet, we've got a
It's
long
early.
ahead of us here.
A lot of people not
True.
playing. A lot of the big guys are out, and while the guards are still getting their time in. So, all right. Now, most important part of the show. How we make a trade work so that I can have Lonzo. This is really the next. We're gonna see what we can do here, and so as the fans know who have watched, is a critical trade because Amy has taken Mr. Ball's name into her team name. So we need to also address that. So we not only have we arranged some trades, Nat has also arranged some potential updated names for your team post trade.
Yeah.
All right. So
I think we should start with those because because you have to have an acceptable alternate name if you're willing to take a trade, obviously. But you can't trade without a new team.
So how do you want to do this?
All right, I made a document. I'll just list them off.
We can't. Hold on. I only got 2 or 3. I got like 3 real trades. So let me see
These
if
are
they
all related to her current players, not any new players. So unless you're they're not Lonzo related. This is her new team name in case she loses Lonzo.
I know, but like I will give you my trades to take Lonzo away from her, and maybe
Okay.
we'll just do one, then we'll see, and then we'll revert. We'll see how this works. All right.
Trade, go.
I have this is trade option number 1. Gary Trent Jr., Mikal Bridges for Lonzo Ball. It will help you so in everything you need. Field goal percentage, free throw percentage, 3 points, and offensive rebounds. Knock you down a little bit in steals, a little bit in blocks, but you got those.
You and your pay to play basketball analyzer, and you're still winless.
This is the commish tools. This is what the commish needs. This is actually pretty sweet. This is legitimately pretty sweet. This little bottom box, it actually gives you the projected stat change for the rest of the season. This is legitimately worth the $3 I pay.
It's $3. I was wondering, I was like, how did you find this?
He's paying to win.
This is like Yahoo Plus advanced nonsense fantasy thing. I don't know what it's called, but it was like pay $5 for this for the season. I'm like, sure, okay, we can have it on the show. That's trade 1. All right, Nat. So what names are relevant to now having both Bridges but no Balls?
Both Bridges and no Balls. Well, I don't prepared for that, but I do have many Bridges related names prepared.
Please.
So here are several that I've started with. These, by the way, all came in with the help of Peter Poop Madness, who is a master of puns.
Mhm.
So water under the bridges. To stick with the similar, bridges over troubled water. If you're a Red Hot Chili Peppers fan, under the bridges.
Dark.
If you could somehow finagle a way, if you could find a way to get Kawhi Leonard, you could be bridges over the river Kawhi.
Right. If y'all can promise me Kawhi Leonard, I'm sold.
I believe Jeff has Kawhi on the bench.
Yeah,
Joe
we could do a 3-teamer. I could arrange a 3-teamer for that. He's not going to play the whole season.
I would consider.
Yeah, he's not going to play the whole season. He'll give him to you.
Yeah, he's out for the year, so it doesn't matter.
He is? Oh, I didn't even know that. No. No.
And then
Not worth it.
Bridges too far. And this one's kind of hard to say, but I kind of liked it. Bridgeserton. Like
Bridgeserton. Okay, that's the money. That's the money. And then you got to change the photo to the Duke.
It's very hard to say. But you say that 3 times fast.
Bridgeserton.
Can't even say it 1 time fast.
That's phenomenal. See, look at all the potential. Look at such good potential from such.
I have so many more names, by the way.
All right,
keep it rolling.
We'll take a break. All right, so that's bucket 1. So you can consider this. So I think this is actually not a bad trade, legitimately, for what you need. Another option. Now this is for both Bulls. This is so I can feel better about myself and for the rest of the season root for my team and doubles. That's what this does. This is a less good trade, I will admit it, but still helps you in certain places. Mostly Tobias and DeRozan trading, and then Mr. Heald giving you threes.
Terrible in assists though.
It does make her worse in assists, but I mean that's Lonzo, right? That's like
Yeah. Well, no, DeRozan too. He gets a lot of assists.
does
He's
he?
a playmaker. Yeah. Well, I guess
Yeah, he's been doing right by me. I'm not gonna give. Yeah,
he's like 5 or 6 assists a night. All right. Well, here's some DeRozan names to make you think about it. What you could be losing if you traded it, or what Tzak could be gaining. My personal favorite of all of the names, which was this is one suggested by Peter, was DeMar's attacks.
Oh, that's great.
We also have Kiss from DeRozan.
Oh, that's good.
And DeRozans are red.
Quality.
One thing this does do is it does actually amp up your offensive rebounds quite a bit and your rebounds. So again, just what you're looking for. It takes down assists, but helps you other places. So again,
can you go down? I'm trying to actually interpret this.
Ooh, I like it.
So these are the projected.
Enhance.
These are the projected rankings, but why for example?
So if green means that you're going up in that category, red means it's going down. So like
the percentages was better if you go up, I think.
Huh?
Go up for percentages. I thought that was better. So like
so this is the plus minus. So like for you,
okay.
you go down a little bit in weekly, up in some of these other ones. So like for this other trade, it's a little more clear. Like you're down in rebounds and assists, but you're up in everything else, basically, for example. And like for me, it's the opposite. I would be, up in some rebounds, steals, blocks, down in like points and stuff. So those two to consider. And then the last one I got for you. A little more extreme.
Ooh,
a little more
blockbuster.
extreme. This would be indeed a blockbuster. If you really want to invest in those offensive rebounds, I can offer you the number 1 offensive rebounder in the league and some 3-point shooting for a truly blockbuster trade. So as you can see, again, in this case,
and I'm not giving up Randall. That's not.
Well, actually, it actually makes you worse somehow. Randall's that good at 3-pointers.
Yeah, he's good at everything.
Holy crap!
He had a trip. He had a double, but with like 30-something points over the weekend.
Yeah, he's good at basketball. All right, this is a bad trade.
I want to keep that guy.
This is a bad trade. So then the only one.
Right, well, while we're talking about Randall, let me butt in with some Randall names.
Yes, please.
Okay, so this is my personal favorite one that I came up with. If you're a Parks and Rec fan, you'll get this. Are both Parks and Rec people?
Yes.
5,000 Randalls in the wind.
Oh, it's a good one.
Sebastian. Little Sebastian.
I'd learned while I was doing this exercise that apparently Mouse Rat has an album on Spotify. So
oh my God.
Go listen to that and be happy. The others are Too Hot to Randall and You Can't Randall the Truth.
That's good.
Which if Paul Pierce was still playing would be perfect. You could double up.
See, you can take this trade and then you have so many options. Too Hot to Randall, Bridge over like troubled water. Come on.
I think 5,000 Randalls in the wind or DeMar's attacks are the best two.
Oh, question, Nat. Did you follow the character limit for the team name in your naming? Did you investigate that aspect? Because there is a limit.
No, but my name is pretty long. So I think like if most of these will work.
See, you can't promise. I'm worried about promising. See,
yeah, it could always be a Randall in the wind if we had to.
Yeah, exactly.
Just the Elton John version.
Yeah.
Well, you think about it. Clearly, I've not convinced you with my extremely generous trade offers.
I would say I'm not. I would maybe consider giving up Lonzo Ball if you screenshot me these and send them to me. I will just for trading for him. The other guys I'm keeping.
I will send you a legitimate offer in the mail.
I look forward to
in the mail. I had an offer for you for Randall, but it sounds like you're not interested in any Randall trades.
Nah.
I have a massive overpay because I have a massive overpay.
What is your trade?
Well, I'm curious. I'm just curious now.
My massive overpay is John Collins and Jaylen Brown for Randall.
And I don't even know
don't-
what positions are they.
Collins is basically the same player as Randall on the Hawks, and Brown is a 3-point shooter for the Celtics.
That might be a net overpay, but like,
Yeah,
but like it's also a much different player set. Like it's a weird trade, actually. I think a little bit. You're kind of like
it kind of makes combined. They generate like the same stats that Randall does with like slightly more of each because there's 2 people.
I see.
Yeah, but I have a pretty solid lineup. That would mean I just have to replace someone else who's also
just
solid.
think about it when the
Just
injuries
saying.
start piling up and you want to
When
do
the
2
what
for
starts
1.
piling up?
When the injuries start piling up and you need to do a 2 for 1, give me a call.
Oh, I plan on cycling Giannis and LeBron just back and forth all season. That's my plan.
I have
I'm just
some
hoping they're
LeBron
both not
ones.
out at the same time.
I've got some LeBron ones for you also.
Hit it. I want to hear him.
Okay, we've got double LeBron Tundra.
Oh, that's good. That is good.
The LeBron Tourage.
That's good too.
Wait, that's got to be a thing already. Like LeBron Tourage clearly must be a
I'm
thing.
sure that one is somewhere. I'm sure a lot of people use that one. Big LeBronski and LeBron of the Dead.
Ooh, that's good. I still like,
like Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah.
Or Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, or Shaun of the Dead. There's also like other ways you could go. You could do like, take off of like the Lady Gaga song "Born This Way." You could do "Braun This Way." It's another idea. That one's just off the top of the dome.
Ah, man, I still love
creative.
Bridgerton.
Bridgerton. Feel free to take it if you want. You're welcome to use it.
I do have a Bridges. Bridges.
It works for you as well. As long as you don't turn into DunceCapBoyz.
You know what? I resent you very much because now that you said it, I'm like forced to legally like change. I have to go back and represent 2 more weeks. I have 2 weeks to win, and it's not looking good for me for the rest of the season.
Oh boy!
Before we close with one relevant weekly segment on this point. Michael Porter Jr. might be out for the season to make my 3rd round pick the worst pick in the history of fantasy. So we're gonna be the DunceCapBoyz. It's gonna be good. On that, so thank you, Amy, for indulging us with some trade offers. We'll see if we can pry Lonzo out of your team by the end of the season. And so it is the week of Thanksgiving. We're doing the show early this week to manage some travel and other things. So we want to do a little nice bit. What are we thankful for in this lovely time of year? Nat, why don't we start with you? What are you thankful for?
Are we doing this as like fantasy thankful for or just anything?
You can do both. You can take it serious. You can have fun. You can whatever you feel in your heart at this moment. I have a couple.
Oh my God, this is so much pressure. Let's see. Can someone else go first? I don't have anything prepared.
Amy, would you like to go first, or I also can go? I'll go first. I'll relieve the pressure. First of all, I'm thankful for the Bulls. 12 and 5, leading the East. Although last time I checked, they were losing their game tonight. We're not going to talk about that. Easily the most entertaining Bulls team since I was a child. I'm very thankful for that. And I'm thankful for this show. Thanks for having people on and enjoying our week every week. So that's what I'm thankful for. All right, Amy, how about you? A little fantasy, maybe a little other things.
I am thankful to be the only undefeated team in the league. So
I
don't know.
That's what
too
I like
obvious.
to hear.
I don't know. I'm gonna say it anyway.
Mute.
I am thankful for randomly I've just started getting into hockey because of the other person lives in this house, and it's expanded my horizons a little bit. We are
Excellent.
full on St. Louis Blues and Kraken fans, and I would want to show you this is in honor of one of the Kraken players. It is Yanni Gourde, because it is a gourd.
Oh geez.
I just
That's
wanted
excellent.
him to make a little cameo in there. Say
That's
hi
pretty
again,
excellent.
honey?
Pretty
Okay.
excellent.
But yeah,
They're super bad, right? Aren't they bad?
the Kraken, they're awful. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
We're putting, we definitely put money. I mean, the payout was like 5,000 to 1 or something insane. I forget, at Vegas for them to take win the Stanley Cup this year was, and yeah, they have no chance. But we did, no, 500. We did, we are St. Louis Blues fans. They are doing much better than the Kraken are. Still kind of pretty average, but decent. So yay. Yeah, there's lots of good sports this year, and I'm very excited about college basketball coming.
I like it. All right, Nat, what do you got? I saw a potential like roving child, I think, made an appearance there.
Yes, he did. His head showed up in the bottom here. 9:30. He's supposed to be asleep, but he's not.
Details.
And I guess from a sports perspective, I am thankful that Damian Lillard is starting to look a little bit like himself again. He had 37 the other night, and that was good because he looked more like Amy's background recently.
Still no rings though.
No rings. Mom got no rings. Probably
He
as long as he
carried
stays
me
with,
last year.
probably as long as he stays with the Blazers, he ain't gonna get no rings, sadly. So I'm not thankful for that, actually. Never mind, skip all that. But I will second you. I'm thankful for the show. And I'm sure, it's made a bright time for our millions of fans. Millions. And it's fun for me and you because it's an excuse to hang out and talk about basketball every week.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
But we do it for the fans, right? We
Always.
Yep, the millions.
You gotta do it for the fans.
Always
Yeah.
for the fans.
Do
And
it for the people.
the people.
Hey Nat, you want to trade Lillard for Alonzo Ball?
I don't have Lillard. I have Steph, and I'm not trading him for anybody.
You don't have Lillard?
No, I have Curry.
Oh, you're just
Yeah, the
excited for
other
the
one.
Blazers. I gotcha.
Yes.
Oh.
I'm just
Never mind.
excited for it in real life bat. In fact, actually during that game, I was preparing a trade offer for Mikey, a buy low trade offer, and I was like, well, that's not gonna work now. So
Well then.
float it by him anyway, just to see what he says.
We'll have to take a side bet on whether or not Lonzo ends on Amy's team this season. But until that does happen,
Bridgerton.
until we can claim Bridgerton, Amy, it was lovely having you. Maybe
Thank
we'll
you
have
so
you on
much.
again. And
Yeah.
y'all have a nice night.
Take care.